Yeah. Swing low, low, get me out this plantation. I ain't on the block no more, no grams weighing. I don't even bed no hoes, my ribs stay in. Try to keep them humble and never run in the streets. My kids speaking Hebrew, so you know that I teach. It's hard, gotta hold on, trying to keep up the peace. I'm waiting on your son to return and cut off the beast. Till then, I'ma be in war mode and face east. I know I don't deserve a second chance, but I take it. That's why I don't slow down no more, and I don't face it. Satan still want me back, he gotta face it. Smoke don't touch these lungs, I'm feeling strong again. Lost a couple LBs, even started to jog again. I get suited up now, and I ain't talking about cardigans. Boots laced up and gear ready for battle. The enemy is listening, Lord, but I ain't rattled. You made a nigga feel it, some niggas scared of their shadow. I'm seeing lost niggas in these groups on the tube. You could've put me with them, yes, that's mercy from you. You put me front of Jilla, you're hot and I can't lose. He took a drug dealer that probably should make the news and turn him to a prophet. My family is still confused. It seems they like the old me best. Sorry to say, I ain't gotta drop a old me left. So I pray that the slave master see death every day. I hear the bell toll and hope I'm the one chosen. And when that chariot swing low, low, let me roll it.
We're doing this for Yahweh and Yahushua. Go to war for our people like Mordecai. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Every day is a struggle just to stay alive. It's dark and hell is hot and I don't wanna feel the fire. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Well, come on, come on, come on. Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? What you know about sacrifices? Nothing, they bluffing, these niggas perpetrators. Man of God, the shit is disgusting, I put my time in. Why they ain't even applying? Through all the pain, hate, confusion, and the lying, I stay grinding with the heart of a lion. The storm through the storm till I found that silver lining. Without no pressure, there's no diamonds. I walk straight into the furnace of affliction for refining. Came along with the stash of bills when I heard the sirens getting higher. Hold up, moment of silence. Just a moment, y'all. Yeah. Cause that man is dead in deceit. Gained knowledge, found peace, shook the mark of the beast. Only fear God and not another man who bleeds. And if you roll with me, you already know my speed. I come through, give a death and holler, what up, priest? Then I quick to chop a Christian with ease. Then I go and put the sword back in his sheath. I got one life to live, so I'm playing for keeps. So I be dropping shit like the towers. All my haters sour, you ain't no cowards. Niggas swear they hard, but acting like they on their flowers. You old bitch ass nigga, fuck your ass up. Hold up, let me regain my composure. I keep the calm to the beat of a composer. The end is near, I can feel it getting closer. Praying to the Lord that the angels be my chauffeur. We're doing this for Yahweh and Yahushua. Go to war for our people like Mordecai. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Every day is a struggle just to stay alive. It's dark and hell is hot and I don't wanna feel the fire. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Well, come on, come on, come on. Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot?
Yeah, and get all your soul, cause I done been through there and back. Let's declare the facts, crackers say it's steals and tracks. Revenue be impressing, I ain't prepared to crack. My current state delivering depression, my hair I'm tearing that. I fight alone in my home and I ain't sharing that. Most of these people ain't prepared for that. I met these GPK brothers and I was hearing that. They said you know that Christ struggled too, and I'm like, where is that? Digging the scriptures and they show what he was hearing that. Bush when he's up the mountain, I'm unaware of that. Bricks on the rocks in the bread, I'm highly aware of that. But then they try to get Christ to jump, shit I be scared of that. Shit I'm stressing through and for testament with comparing that. Put on my gator strap, this was best to do, cause that's what pressure do. And they bring the blessing through the truth we bring. So by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, go to war for my king.
We're doing this for Yahweh and Yahushua. Go to war for our people like Mordecai. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Every day is a struggle just to stay alive. It's dark and hell is hot and I don't wanna feel the fire. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride.
Limousine ride is one of the world's most unique.
Shalom, 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 Israel. Isupk Jackson, back once again. It's like it, I'm gonna get myself together right here. Back again. Isupk Jackson under Commander General Yohana. Back again. going into the scriptures about these traditions, this is the time of year, like as we're just coming off Halloween, just coming off a Halloween, and then from Halloween we roll into Thanksgiving and Christmas, and this is something that our people get trapped in and don't understand what really is going on. You know what I mean? Let's take, for example, I'm just going to say Christmas because it's like one of the biggest ones. If you look at the number of suicides that take place on these days, and the amount of death that is associated with it, with not just Christmas, but the reason why I said Christmas is basically because of the suicides that happen on Christmas. But looking at the deaths in total, like the deaths that take place on Halloween, the deaths that take place on Thanksgiving and Christmas, all rolled into one on top of the suicide right around these holidays, which lets you know what? With all the death, the Most High is not with these things. It's not of the Most High. He has nothing to do with any of that, okay? He has nothing to do with any of that. He wants no part of it. He hates it. It is utterly disgusting to him. And he wants nothing to do with it. And yet, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, we tend to continue to follow these things that make the Most High angry with us, okay? And of course, when you anger the Most High, he don't just go pout in the corner somewhere. You anger him, it's something coming behind that, and generally it's some death coming behind that. Okay, as we know, the Lord is a man of war. He don't have time. He don't want to hear you doing it for the kids. The Most High doesn't want to hear that. He don't care about that. Because while you sitting saying you're doing it for the kids, what you're doing is you're actually destroying them. Okay, you're actually destroying them. You're not helping them at all. You're just passing your sins down to them. And you're making an excuse. The Most High don't want to hear your stinking excuses. He said do something and we should do it. It's that simple. It's not hard. This is not nothing to negotiate about or anything of that nature. We celebrate these holidays and we die because of it. Death comes to us for celebrating this holiday, for celebrating these holidays. Okay, with that we're going to go into Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter. We're going to go into Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, and see what the Most High said do. Because these are the things that we should be doing. We should be doing what? What the Most High said to do. Not some garbage or some junk that we got inside our own head. That's not what we should be doing. We should be following the things that He laid out for us. If you black, Native American, or Hispanic, you should be following what the Most High said to do. Let the other nations do whatever it is that they want to do. Let them have Christmas and celebrate Thanksgiving and have their Christianity and have their Islam and have their Buddhism. Allow them to have those things. Those are the things that they set up for them. Those are man-made things that they set up for themselves. Allow them to enjoy those things if that's what they want to do. You have to come out of those things because the Most High, who is the ruler over everything, set things up for us a certain way and a certain things that He wanted us to do. Okay? We have a covenant with the Most High. The Arabs don't have a covenant with the Most High. Chinese folks, no other nation has a covenant with the Most High. We do. And with that covenant comes a great responsibility. Okay, with that covenant comes a great responsibility. So we're going to Deuteronomy 6 and 6. Okay, Deuteronomy 6 and 6. Again, those other nations don't have the same things that we have. They can eat pork so if they choose. For now. Of course, we know when Christ come back, there will be no pork eaten in the world. But if that's what the other nations want to do, if they want to eat some pork, let them go eat pork. Let them eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. Let them do whatever it is they do. We cannot follow the other nations. They don't have the same responsibilities to the Most High that we have. Why? Because we have a covenant with the Most High that they do not have. And that's what makes us different. That's what separates us. And that is what makes us better than them. And that is what makes us better than them, okay? Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 6. And these words, now this is Moses speaking, okay? And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart. Verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. So what is going on? Moses is receiving the law, statutes, and commandment. And he's saying, look, once he gives the information from the Most High to the people are supposed to do what? They learn them. They pass it down to their children. Their children pass it down to their children. Then what? Their children pass it down to their children. This is a thing that is supposed to be passed down from generation to generation. This is not something that we were supposed to take and end at some point and then start going off and doing whatever we wanted to do. It said pass it down to thy children. For what reason? So thy children can pass it down to their children. And so forth and so on. But because we love the other nations so much, we walked away from what our God that delivered us out of Egypt did. We walked away from him to follow a foolish people. Fast forward to today, we won't even come back to him because we want to eat macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving. We want to put up a goddamn Christmas tree. We care more about Christmas trees than following the Most High. We have to come out of this silliness, man. Especially at this time that it is right now. Okay, as we see things that's going on in the earth, okay? And I know for some of y'all around this time, it's very hard, especially if you're very new in the truth. You get around Thanksgiving time and Christmas time, and it's your first time where you ain't celebrated it. You ain't been around your family. You have to fight those demons. You have to fight those demons, man. Make sure you're getting counsel from your camp leader. Make sure you're talking to your brothers. Using your brothers as a support system, and your camp leader, they can help get you through all of these things, man. Because this is a rough time for a lot of new brothers who this is their first time going around and not celebrating Thanksgiving or not celebrating Christmas. I'm sure some of y'all squeak past Halloween without a problem, but these times, this Halloween and this Thanksgiving, this stuff, man, can wear heavy on the brother, man. So just make sure you're getting that counsel from your camp leader, you're talking to your brothers, and you'll get through this thing. Okay? Verse 7 reading, and thou shalt teach them diligently. unto thy children, and thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house. Watch this. It say, thou shalt talk to them, and when I sit in thy house. Keep talking. When you sitting in your house, talk about these things that the Most High let. Watch this. And talk about it when you sitting in your house, and when thou walkest by the way. When you walking, and when thou liest down. When you lie down, and when thou risest up. In other words, it's not a time when you should forget the things that Moses has told you. It's not a time that you should forget the law. It's not a time that you should, if you Black, Hispanic, and Native American, it's not a time that you should forget Passover. If you Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you should never forget the Feast of Tabernacles. You should never forget it. You should never forget what the Most High did to those Egyptians in Egypt, passing over for what they were doing to you. And in the future, you should, when the Most High deliver us for this one more time, you should never forget what he did to our enemies that oppress us now. You will never forget it. Because this time it's going to be something like you've never heard of. We have to come back. Why? Because we want what? Everybody can see the problems. You see the problems. But the ISUPK is the only place with the solution. You can't get brotherhood from some fake Israelite group. That's just not going to happen. A fake Israelite group can never give you brotherhood. Because they don't know brotherhood. They don't understand brotherhood. All they understand is the way that they think. And what they think is right. And how they go about things and the way things should go. Okay? From there we're going to go to 2 Kings. 2 Kings. Yeah, we're getting into it now. We're going to go into 2 Kings 17 and 15. Okay? Easter. What the hell are we doing following Easter? We follow a rabbit laying eggs. Easter bunny laying some damn eggs. What the hell? Look at this garbage that we follow, man. This garbage that we follow. We follow a man with some wings with a bow and arrow in the heart, hitting you with the arrow and making you love somebody. Talking about his name is Cupid. Look at the garbage you follow, man. Salakia. Look at the garbage that you follow. The garbage that we follow, man. We should be ashamed of ourselves, man. We should be ashamed of ourselves for celebrating Easter. We coming up on Thanksgiving. They murdered the Native Americans to the brink of extinction. And we about to celebrate that with these people. Those very same people that oppress us, man. We should be ashamed of ourselves, man. We should be ashamed of ourselves. We do all of this, but you know what people never think about? To celebrate the Passover. Like, I don't know. I don't know about everybody else, but we kind of get looked at, me personally, dealing with my people and family and things of that nature, we kind of get looked at crazy for celebrating the Passover. But they'll celebrate a bunny rabbit laying eggs. Okay? We get looked at we get looked at like, what the hell is wrong with us for doing what the Most High said to do? Which lets you know how messed up our people really are. They actually claim to love the Most High, claim to follow the Most High, claim to do the things of the Most High, but do nothing that's inside the scriptures. And when they see somebody actually doing what's inside the scriptures, they look at me as if I'm the sinner of all sinners. And all I'm trying to do is do what? What the Most High told me to do. And they don't care what the Most High told. They think inside their head, them doing what they want to do is the right thing to do. Where did that comes from following who? Your oppressor. The Most High, it's nowhere in the Bible where the Most High said, do whatever the hell you want to do. That's not in here anywhere. It's not in here anywhere. You can't find that in here anywhere. It's nowhere in here. It's nowhere in here. It's a reason why it's nowhere in here. Because the Most High set things up the way He wanted it to be set up. Okay? 2 Kings chapter 5. I mean, Salakia. 2 Kings chapter 17 verse 15. Okay? And they rejected His statutes and His covenant that He made with their fathers. And we reject. How do we reject it? What is the way that we reject it? We reject the way the Most High told us to do things when we do what? When Halloween just passed. Think of all the brothers and sisters that celebrated Halloween. They rejected They rejected what the Most High said do, and made the decision to go celebrate Halloween. Again, Thanksgiving is coming up. What did they do? They rejected the way of the Most. They're going to reject the way of the Most High and do what? Celebrate Thanksgiving. Christmas right after that. They're going to do what? They're going to reject the way of the Most High and do what? Follow Christmas. New Year's. They're going to do what? They're going to reject the way of the Most High and do what? Celebrate New Year's. They're rejecting the things that the Most High. But now let me come to them and say, come on, brother, let's keep Passover, Hanukkah. Let's do some of these things. They reject that. Nah, man, I don't know about that Israelite stuff. That y'all in some kind of code or something. I don't know nothing about that. That strange that doctrine is strange to them. It's strange to them because they're not in a doctrine that you actually have to do what the Most High say do. So now when you come with something that say, well, hold on, stop. Stop doing what you want to do and start doing what the Most High require of you to do. Doing what the Most High require of them to do, it is a strange thing to them. They never heard that. Wherever they were at, never taught them that. Whether they be in Christianity, whether they be in Islam, whether they worship Buddha. Hold on one second. Salakia, sidebar for 1 second. This is one thing that I never have understood. Why in the hell would a black man or woman worship Buddha? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what? You see a statue of a bald-head Chinese man, and you would think that is the way to go. Out of everything in the world, Buddha. I don't. That's just like I'm not saying follow any God, but I understand. You may follow Christianity because it's popular, so you may think it has a form of godliness. Your grandma been in there, your grandpa been in there, your mama, you're basically raised in the Christian church, but you bypass all the other stuff in Buddha. That's just Salakia. That's just the weirdest thing to me. Moving on. We should worship none of that stuff. None of that stuff should be worship, because when we follow Christianity, when we follow Islam, when we follow Buddhism, when we follow African paganism, when we follow any of those things, we do what? We reject the statutes and the covenant of the Most High, because what are we doing, man? We following and going after other gods. Okay? Reading on. And his testimony, which he testified against them, and they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round and about them, concerning who the Lord charged them that they should not do like them. The Most High never wanted us to do like we in 2 Kings. The Most High never wanted us to be like the heathens. He never wanted us to follow all this other garbage that's out here. He never wanted us doing any of that stuff. He never wanted us celebrating Christmas. He never wanted us celebrating Halloween, President's Day, 4th of July, Columbus Day, and all that other garbage that's going on around here. The Most High never wanted us to follow the customs of these heathen. He don't want us eating pork and shrimp, crab, and lobster, just praying over it and thinking that it's okay. How do you know that all of that is true? How do you know? What makes me say it? Because it's in the Bible, and he said, don't do it. But that's so strange to some people. Because what? They've been raised and taught what? You can do whatever it is you want to do. And in doing whatever it is you want to do, guess what happens to us? We die, man. We die in our sins. Because we get taught what? Oh, it's okay. You can eat pork. Just pray over it. Christmas is Jesus' birthday, man. This is the day Jesus was born. Thanksgiving, it's just a family gathering, man. Just everybody coming together. Easter, this is Resurrection Sunday, man. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt. None of that has any... Where is any of that junk in the Bible? Where is any of that garbage in the Bible? It's not there, man. It's not there because we're not supposed to do it. That's why it's not there. If we were supposed to do it, guess where it would be? It would be in the Bible. But I tell you what is in the Bible about that stuff. Not doing it. That's what's in the Bible. Don't do it. Don't worship the God of Easter. Just don't do it. Don't worship the God of Christmas. Don't have a Christmas spirit. Okay? Don't have a Christmas spirit. Don't get in the spirit of Thanksgiving. Don't get in the spirit of New Year's. Stay away from that garbage. Because it's not of the Most High. You are worshiping other gods. Okay? With that, let's go to Amos chapter 5, man. Amos, the 5th chapter. You're worshiping other gods, and guess what happened because of that? We die. We don't get that breath of life. We don't get to we don't get to drink from the fountain of the fountain of life, so to speak. We don't get that. Instead, because when we follow those other things, guess what we get? We get death because of it, man. We get death because of it. We cannot follow the other nations. We have to set the standard in the earth. That's what we do here in the UPK. We set the standard in the earth of what to do and what not to do. Okay? If you black and Hispanic, you should be in here, man. You shouldn't be following your oppressors, man. Get in here and follow and let us show you how to follow Christ properly. Not the way you've been taught before, because that way is wrong. That way have you celebrating Christmas. have your whole family die, and your Christmas tree burned up, and your whole goddamn house burned down, and everybody died in the house because you sitting up celebrating Christmas. Amos chapter 5 verse 21. Okay? Because you want to celebrate Christmas. The Most High is not with any of that. Okay? Read. I hate. One more time. I hate. I despise your feast days. Your feast days. The things that are man-made. The things, not the days that the Most High have in here for you to celebrate. Not those things. The Most High don't hate the Day of Atonement. The Most High don't hate the Feast of Tabernacles. The Most High don't hate Passover. He don't hate those things that he told us to do. The Feast of Purim. He doesn't hate those things. Those are not the things that he hates. Here's what he hates. He hates Christmas. He hates Thanksgiving. He hates Halloween. He hates Columbus Day. Again, these are the things. Look at the deaths on these days. How can these things be of the Most High with all the death that go on these days? These things are not of the Most High, nor can it be of the Most High. How do we know? Because it's not ordained by him. He only speak what? Ill of these days. He said he hates these days of yours. So if you're doing anything outside of what he said do, the Most High is not with it. Okay? He's not with it. Reading on. And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. You could pray over that dang on pork all you want to. You could pray over that. How about this? Don't even put pork in your assembly on your Thanksgiving Day. See if the Most High gonna come around. He's still not gonna come around. To celebrate the murder of his people? The Most High will not do such a thing. Verse 22, Slakia. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings. You stand in that kitchen on Thanksgiving, man, you cook all day. It's all kind of smells. Pies and cakes and greens and macaroni and cheese and dressing and stuffing. My uncle, he used to cook raccoon on it. He used to, cook odd stuff, so to speak. So he would always have something like a raccoon, a possum, some weird nonsense like that all the time. I was a kid, of course, so I probably take a small tiny piece just to see what it tastes like, but I never really ate that kind of stuff. So he could probably get a swine or some nonsense. So he was always getting things of that stuff. We stand around and pray over that. My mama had a sink full of chitlins. A sink full of chitlins, man. We can't even put the dishes in the sink to wash out for breakfast. To wash after we ate breakfast, because it was a sink full of chitlins, man. And we thought it was just such a great thing, the family coming together, everybody come over and eat, and we just celebrate Thanksgiving, and it's just happy. I haven't seen this person in a long time, that person in a long time. It just used to seem like it was the greatest thing ever, when it was absolutely disgusting to the Lord. It was absolutely disgusting to the Lord. Absolutely disgusting to him. And it's disgusting that somebody's daughter got to sit across from that uncle or that cousin that molested them on Thanksgiving Day. It's utterly disgusting that is something that actually happens on Thanksgiving. It's absolutely disgusting that that happens, man. That uncle, that cousin, that this, that, and the third, who should never be even allowed in the house, they got to sit there and suffer through having Thanksgiving dinner with this person. And everything is made to look like it's just all good and everything is okay. And it's not, man. These are things that the Lord is not with, man. These are things that the Lord is not with. And not only do we have to endure things like that, but guess what else? We die because of it, man. People get depressed on Thanksgiving Day, a day that is celebrated of the murder of the North American Indians, on the murder of so-called Indians. They're depressed enough where they take their own life, man. On a day that's basically about the murder of their people. Go figure that out. Somebody explain that to me, the sense that makes to me. Okay? Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Again, you in there cooking up all that stuff. Like I said, my uncle used to make the weird stuff, the possums and raccoons. You make a turkey and ham. The Most High is not and y'all sit around the table, hold hands, and pray, or pray individually, whichever way your family goes about it. And the Most High is not with any of that garbage. It's not with any of that garbage. Not for 5 seconds is he with any of that stuff, man. And in fact, he hates it. Okay? In fact, he hates it. Okay? Reading on. Verse 23. Take thou away from me thy noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy violins. On Christmas, what you got? You got your Christmas carols going. You're feeling good. People going door to door caroling. Most High said, get that garbage away from me. Most High don't want to hear none of that. You have the spirit of Christmas on you. That's not the spirit of the Most High. It's not walking Christ-like. That's not the spirit of Christ. You worship another Jesus. Okay? You worship another Jesus. You're doing something different than what the Most High ordained for you to do. You're doing something different than what the Most High ordained for you to do. Because of why? Because you following what? Traditions of men. The Most High don't have nothing to do with those things in which you do. Those things in which you're talking about. You Christmas caroling, you singing songs, you Rudolph and the Red-Nosed Reindeer and all that garbage. The Most High don't want to hear none of that stuff. Okay? From there, let's go to Isaiah chapter 30. Isaiah, the 30th chapter, man. Man, oh man, Israel, it is that. It's just that time of the year because, you know, it's like again, this is going to take some strengthening. We're going to have to help the younger brothers out, man, and make sure that even if they don't approach us, we should go and talk to them and just see if they're okay. You know, just make sure they are right, man, because a lot of them, again, this is their first time not celebrating Thanksgiving, not celebrating Halloween. I mean, not celebrating Christmas. It's like in Halloween too also, but I was meaning to say Christmas. this is that time where they get into that Halloween and Christmas spirit, and they so used to this being the time where they family again that they haven't seen in a while, and everybody coming together, and this is the only thing they know. So we just want to be cautious and make sure that we strengthening them brothers, man, and keeping an eye out, be watchmen for those brothers. Okay. Isaiah verse 30. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. So it's a sin to even celebrate Thanksgiving, to have to have the spirit of Thanksgiving on you. And then you also worshiping another God. I mean, you also worshiping the murder of the Native American Indians. You also worshiping the murder of the Native American Indians. It's a sin to celebrate Christmas. But you also worshiping another God, taking on another spirit, the spirit of Christmas, the spirit of Thanksgiving. You are sinning and then adding sin on the sin. So it's like what? It's multiple sins in what? The holiday that you choose to celebrate. It's multiple sins in celebrating Halloween. For the people that just celebrated Halloween, it's multiple sins in doing that. What we got? What's upcoming? Thanksgiving. It's multiple sins in Thanksgiving. What's after that? Christmas. It's multiple sins in Christmas. You're just adding sin to sin. And why are you doing this? Because your Christian pastors are guiding you to what? To your death. This causes us death. Look at the condition of black people. Look at the condition of the people that celebrate Christmas. Black people celebrating Christmas leads to death, man. And nobody holds Christian pastors accountable for leading us to celebrate and do these things. Nobody don't hold the Christian church accountable for Halloween. Nobody ever says, hold on, what is going on here? We shouldn't be celebrating Halloween. They celebrate Halloween inside of the Christian church. And nobody says anything. They have a great time inside of there, dancing and trick-or-treating and costuming and all kind of nonsense. And nobody says anything. They get all your children right there and pick out which ones they want to molest, and nobody says anything. All your children dressed up nice in their Halloween costume. And your pastor sit there, you think he's just the holiest man ever, and he's just sitting there looking at your children, picking out which ones he want to molest. It's utterly disgusting, man, and it is despicable. We should be ashamed of ourselves, man. We should be ashamed of ourselves. We are adding sin to sin. You take them in there for Halloween or whatever, with Halloween, and then he end up molesting your children. We adding sin to sin, man. And we have to come out of that way of thinking. We have to really, what we should really do is take a step back and examine these things. I think we get so caught up and we so brainwashed into into doing the things that we do that we never take a step back to look and say, well, hold on. Is what I'm doing right? We don't take the time to compare what we're doing. We don't take the time to do that. When what? When it's what we should do. We should examine what the hell is going on. Because if we take the time to examine it, we can see that what we've been doing all this time has not worked. It has not worked. Okay? It has not worked. How do we know it hasn't worked? You could just walk outside your goddamn house and see it. You don't need me or Commander General Yohana or Captain Laban or Captain Marquardt. You don't need or Captain Tazariak or Katazak or Captain Katazak. You don't need the UPK to tell you something is not right with what we've been doing. You don't need any of us to tell you that. You can just walk outside your house and look and see something is not right. You can look and see that how we live as a people and how everybody else live as a people is different. It's not the same. You can see it. It's very you don't need nobody to open their mouth. You just need to walk. You can walk right outside and look at it and know it's different. You go to your community, go to somebody else's community. I don't care whether it's the Chinese, the African, the Arabs, the so-called oppressor white man, whichever area you want to go to, you can see that is different than your area. Pick one. Okay? From there we're going to go to Colossians, the 2nd chapter. Colossians, the 2nd chapter. Okay? Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Yeah, you could just, it's so different. So once we start really examining it and start actually caring, because it's one thing, like brothers in the UPK, I'm sure y'all can relate to this. We always get them the brother who will probably come up to the camp, or he might see the school and he'll come up and y'all might be outside doing whatever, and he'll come up and talk to y'all, and then you break it down scriptures and you explain the stuff to him, and he hype right then and there. Yeah, brother, I know what you're saying, man. I'm with y'all brothers, man. I feel what you're saying. I this, that, and nah. But after that conversation, you never see the brother again. I think we all go through that. You never see the brother again, man. And that's one of the things, man. We have to get serious about this thing. It can't just be all lip service. At some point, you have to be willing to fight for this. Because that's the only way we're going to get it. We're going to have to fight. And that fight don't necessarily have to start with fighting your enemies. That fight actually starts with you. Because you have to do what? Before you can even worry about anything you can do outside of yourself, you have to fight what? Within yourself. You have to fight your flesh. You have to fight those lustful things that you desire to do. That's where your fight starts. Your fight always starts with you. Because you have to be doing what? Be willing to change from who you are to a brand new person. The scriptures say you cannot put new wine into old bottles. So you have to fight that fight with yourself and be willing to change, man. That fight starts with you. It always starts with you. So no, if you ever want to create change, it starts with you. You have to be willing to fight those demons off and fight them things and get in the UPK. We'll help you. You don't have to fight this thing alone. You won't be by yourself. You will have brothers with you to help you fight the whole time. You don't have to battle. You will never battle anything alone in the UPK. Okay? Colossians chapter 2 verse 8. And it reads, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Don't let no philosophy. What is and vain deceit? December 25th is Christ's birthday. What else? Thanksgiving is a great day for us to come together as a family. Why do I keep harping on Thanksgiving and Christmas so much? Because these are the things that's coming up, and I need you to understand how disgusting these days are. Of course, as time going to go on, we're going to do individual breakdowns and go into the history of these things, but I need you to really understand how these things are disgusting and not of the Most High at all. It has nothing to do with Him, nothing to do with Christ, nothing to do with the Bible. It's just man-made mumbo jumbo. That's all it is. It's man-made mumbo jumbo. Okay? Verse 8, read again. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy, Salakia, and vain deceit, after the traditions of man. That is what that stuff is, man. New Year's, Easter, Thanksgiving, Columbus Day, Christmas, all that stuff is traditions of man. The Bible doesn't support any of that. And it speaks against what? All of that. All of that. The Most High is not with any of that, man. Which is why it's important that we get rooted back into this truth. We get rooted back into this truth, man. Because keeping the law, statutes, and commandment is the only thing that's going to deliver us out of this hell that we in. It's going to deliver us out of the hell that we in, man. We have to endure, man. Let's go. After the rudiments of the world and not after Christ. Stop following these things that are in the world and start doing what Christ would do. I remember we had a while ago, this was in the 90s, right? We had the little arm bracelets that said, what would Jesus do? Or the shirts with, what would Jesus do? Christ would follow the laws of the Most High. That's what Christ did. That's what Christ did. Christ followed the laws of the Most High. So if you want to know what Christ did, that's what Christ did. And you should do the same. Because you owe Christ. You owe Christ because Christ died for you. To have a chance to start following those laws again. So you owe Him for that. Pay your debt to Christ by following them laws. Or die because you won't. Because that's what will happen. You choose not to do it, you're going to die for it. Coronavirus, you're going to die for it. Look how many Christian pastors has lost their life. Look how many Christian members have lost their life. I don't know whether y'all seen that on the internet, but our oppressor was brought to his knees and apologizing through churches around the world for the things that they've done. Wake up, Israel. And instead of us waking up and seeing that, they understood it. Instead of us, because we such a stiff-necked people, what do? We still went out and bought an AFI. Cop that weed, get that Percocet. We don't even consider or think about any of this stuff, man. We don't even consider the Most High. And that has to change, man. As the school grow, and we getting out there more and more and more, out there pushing this truth, we have to wake up more and start coming into this truth, man. And bringing all of Israel in here. Because if all of us would just change, man, we would be so strong. And Christ will come back so quick because we changed as a nation. And everything that you complain about and everything that you say is wrong, it will all change overnight. But again, we have to fight that first fight. What is that first fight? Ourself. To fight with ourselves, man. To make that change. And with that, I'm going to close the class, Israel. As always, once again, if you're in the Jackson area and you want to ride to the Scripture Breakdown on Thursdays by our captain, our camp leader, Captain Laban, man, in Detroit, Michigan, breaking it down heavy, man, a mighty man, a soldier for the Most High, most definitely, without a doubt. Again, get in contact with this number that you see on the screen, man. You'll get a free ride there and back, man. It won't cost you a dollar. It won't cost you $1. And I know that makes sense. It won't cost you $1, man. You will get a ride to Detroit and back for Scripture Breakdown class, and you could just kick it with the brothers and actually be a part of the thing that we talk that you hear us talking about. And actually be a part of that, man, and come in and see what that's like, man, and get that feeling of what it's like to actually be around brothers that actually live what we talk about. And you'll be, I guarantee you, it'll be like nothing you've ever seen, been around, or been a part of in your entire life, man. Coming to these classes will change your life. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. I'm telling you what I know for a fact, and if anybody know me, it is what it is. It'll change your life, man. With that, I'm going to say shalom, Israel. Y'all stay up.